In 2016, Triumph revealed a new model to the Bonneville range, the Bobber. A bike that had a rather mixed reception with the biking community. It was a bit of a Marmite bike. Despite this, the Bobber soon became Triumph's fastest selling motorcycle in the company's history. Fast forward to 2018, and now there is a new version. This is the Bobber Black. Available in either a glossy jet black or matte black, it features blacked out styling such as the double skinned exhaust pipes, and those once brushed and ready to corrode aluminium engine cases and sprocket cover are now black. As usual with the new Triumph range, there is a whole range of styling options and accessories, 119 of them to be exact, so you can really make it to your own taste. But the main difference with this new version is all at the front end. On the original Bobber, quite a few people felt that the single front brake disc wasn't quite enough. So on the Bobber Black, you now have twin discs with Brembo calipers, new shower forks with cartridge dampening, and a smaller 16-inch wheel with a fatter tyre for improved cornering. Also new to the Bobber Black is a new full LED headlight with daytime running light and a nice simple to use single button cruise control. The cost of all these changes adds an extra £1,050 to the on-the-road price, which is £11,650. Performance-wise, it's the same as before, a liquid-cooled 1200cc parallel twin engine that produces 76 brake horsepower and a plentiful 106 Nm of torque. The servicing interval on this and all the new liquid-cooled engines in the Triumph range is 10,000 miles, much more than the usual 6,000 miles on the older engines. You get the same adjustable clock position, simple controls on the switchgear, the all-in-one ignition and kill switch, an info centre featuring the usual clock, RPM, switchable traction control, odometer, 2 trip counters, current MPG, average MPG, and fuel range. You also have the same ride-by-wire throttle with road and rain modes, which is switchable on the go. Now, I often get asked about my height when it comes to reviewing bikes. It's well known that I'm a short rider at 5'3" and a 29-inch inseam, so I do struggle with some bikes. In this case, the Bobber is no issue at all, with a minimum seat height of 27 inches, that's 790mm. And that seat is adjustable forwards and backwards and can be tilted up and down, so you can fine-tune the position to give you the best comfort. And finally, you have the same great sound from the stock exhaust. Now, before we move on to the road test, there is a small problem. We can't. That is because I forgot to press record before riding. Normally this would mean that this video would have to be scrapped and I'd have to start all over again. Luckily enough, Triumph have also released another bike, which is almost exactly the same as the Bobber Black. This is the all-new Speedmaster. It is basically the same as the Bobber Black, but with different handlebars and a pillion seat. So out on the road, it should be pretty much the same, so I think I can get away with doing a combined video for these two bikes. Available in jet black, cranberry red, and this colour combination they call fusion white and phantom black with hand-painted coach line, which is simply a superb finish. It is an extra £300, but just look at it. Spec and performance wise, it is all the same as the Bobber Black. Just like the Bobber Black, you get full LED lighting all round, including the new all-LED headlight with daytime running light. It is the same instrument clock, only the position of this one can't be adjusted. Otherwise, the buttons and features are all the same, including the switchable traction control, the road and rain rider modes, and the single button cruise control. With the Speedmaster, you have these nice cruiser-style handlebars, which does give it a much different feel to the Bobber. You also have this rather small pillion seat, which is removable, or you can upgrade to a wider comfort seat. Or you could add the Highway Pack, which includes upgraded seats with a pillion backrest and luggage rack, along with a huge windshield and a set of panniers. The seat height on this is slightly higher than the Bobber. It's 705mm, which again isn't an issue for the shorter rider. However, the forward foot controls could be an issue in the standard configuration, but they can be adjusted to suit, or there are footboards available within the optional extras. And finally, let's hear the noise before hitting the road. So, the new Speedmaster then. A lot's changed since the old model. The old one, which was actually the first Triumph I took a test ride on, that had the old 865 air-cooled Bonneville engine in there, same as my Scrambler.
This one, a lot's changed. It's got the new 1200cc liquid-cooled engine from the T120 and the Bobber and the Thruxton R. So 76 brake horsepower and 106 newton meters of torque, I do believe. So this really is, it's a Bobber with a bigger tank and different handlebars. Otherwise, the front end is the same as the Bobber Black, with the fatter tyre, 16-inch front wheel, and the twin brake discs. And the other thing, of course, is the bigger fuel tank, which actually isn't bigger than the old model. It's bigger than the Bobber's fuel tank, but not as big as the old Speedmaster fuel tank. I believe the old Speedmaster tank was 16 or 18 litres. This one's only 12. So it does carry a bit more than the 9 litre that you get on the Bobber. So it would be a bit more suitable for longer journeys, but I would have thought they'd have gone for a little bit more capacity, probably like 15 litres, 16 litres, something like that. But then again, the MPG is going to be different. Now the weird thing with this, with the MPG, on paper, the Bobber is actually more economical. The Bobber does 69 miles to the gallon, I think it was, and then this it does 67. So yeah, I mean, there's not much in it, but still, it's, yeah, doesn't quite do as well as the Bobber on the fuel consumption somehow. There goes a peg. Sorry. It's so easy to scrape the pegs on these. Of course, I mean, well, it's a cruiser, so that's kind of expected, really. But yeah, this, whereas the Bobber sort of inspires hooliganism and a lot of confidence, this is, I mean, it's just as easy to ride. Don't get me wrong there. It's just as easy to ride, but it does. You do feel like you just want to be more poodling around rather than honing it, and it's nice and comfortable. It's a nice laid back seated position here. It's like driving an armchair. Sit back and enjoy the ride, enjoy the scenery. However, when you're not quite poodling fast enough, let's say, and you want to go a bit quicker and get round a car, you can do. We'll do it after this corner because we're still in the 40 zone, so. And you're away. It does it. It takes off so quick. It's quite bumpy there. Now, it's took me a while to get used to the forward controls again. And that adds to the sort of comfort and cruisy style of this thing. But if you are short in the leg, you might struggle reaching the controls comfortably. I think if this was mine, I would certainly tweak the position of the gear shifter, because it's my foot has to go quite flat. I have to stretch my foot all the way forward to get underneath it to change gear. Downshifting's alright, but yeah, reaching round the lever to pull it up with my toes is a bit of a stretch, so yeah, I would have to adjust them somehow. I'm sure there is some adjustment in them. It's working now. I was trying to use the cruise control earlier, but I couldn't get it to work. It just wouldn't work. And now I've just sort of pressed the button a bit again and it's working now, so I'm not sure what that was all about. So yes, single button cruise control, that is a new feature to the Bobber Black and the Speedmaster, and it is dead simple to use. So yeah, the cruise control is just a single touch of the button there. Or was it? I double tapped it earlier and it works, but it's not working now. I think the switch might be a bit dodgy. So the cruise control, yeah, once it actually works, I'm pretty sure it's operator error rather than anything else. But yeah, when it's on, it just holds whatever speed you were doing at the time. It's not like the fancy stuff you get on the Tigers or the like BMWs and stuff, where you can set the cruise control and trim your speed up and down and fine tune it. It's pure and simple, on or off. So I've just turned that on. It's holding 40 miles an hour nicely. If you go up or down a hill, for example, it does adjust the throttle accordingly to keep that speed held. And then if you do need to turn it off, it's quite simple. You just either blip the throttle and it turns off, or tap the brakes and it's off. Very simple to use, and it doesn't need to be any more complicated than that. So yeah, this Speedmaster is quite a pleasure to ride. It's not nice and relaxed, and it's got the power there if you need it. But otherwise, yeah, it's very very laid back and comfortable. The Bobber Black, on the other hand, is a hooligan. It's all pretty much exactly the same, but it just makes you want to throw it into corners, scrape the pegs, and that sort of thing. Yeah, that's more aimed at the fun and wild side of things. This is there for a bit more of a calmer ride, let's say. But because they share the same chassis and engine and whatnot, you can have the best of both worlds, really. They'll both do the same sort of thing. Okay, I think cornering on this is probably a bit more difficult to corner like the Bobber because of these bars. It's you can't chuck it in quite as easy, and of course with the different position of the pegs as well. Yeah, I think you've got a little less agility with this. But yeah, this isn't designed for chucking around corners. Simple as that. And of course, they both have really good front brakes now. So if you do need to use them, it's got plenty of stopping power. There shouldn't be any complaints about the brakes on this bike or the Bobber Black now, with them twin Brembo front discs and calipers. Probably scrape a peg around here. Yeah, there it goes. Whoops. Anyway, that's the end of the Speedmaster review. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Hope it's been useful. Hopefully I managed to cover everything, and hopefully the camera's recording, because in the Bobber Black one I forgot to press record at some point. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that, but they're pretty much the same bike, so hopefully I can sort of merge the two. I don't know. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Ride safe, and I'll see you on the next one. Ta-da!